This is heaven and hell. 3 years when I came to Macau, I changed from a rich second generation to a bad gamble that owed a gambling of a usury, and changed from rotten gambling to a casino. As a discourse, my work every day is to attract guests and serve guests for the casino. As long as their money is changed by my hand, I can get a commission every time I change, and then use the commission to repay my interest in a scary usury. Dongzi, do you have no devils in your factory? Zhang Pinfeng called the phone, one of my small hair, and the home was opening the coal mine. Rest assured, we have a qualified red spider. I replied. The devil in his mouth refers to Lao Qian. I do not lack Lao Qian at night, and many factories themselves will make money to harm gamblers. But those are all small factories. Small factories are generally not long-lasting to make money by means, and large factories are purely playing with gamblers. For more than 3 years here, I have hardly seen those who came in. A little better became gambling, and he was almost reduced to gambling ghosts. Even in high-usual loans, they dare to sign, and even change the principal of the seller's property, and want to bet again. Okay, I'm here tomorrow, don't forget to pick me up. Zhang Pinfeng smiled and hung up the phone. I know he made a wrong decision, but I would not remind you. This is reality. This sentence was still told me as if I was forced to be like a funeral dog 3 years ago. The next day, I asked the driver to open Rolls-Royce Phantom to the airport to pick him up. This kind of car is a high grade in the eyes of others, but there are a lot of casinos, even the drivers are 1-1-1 beauty. These are resources used to attract and serve customers. As a discourse, I can use these resources at any time. Even if it is told to gamblers, it doesn't matter that all of them are mine. The company will try my best to cooperate with me, as long as I can bring him into the VIP room. Dongzi, I haven't seen you for a few years, the boy has changed big. Zhang Pinfeng gave me a hug with a smile, and patted my shoulder. He sighed and said, brother, not I don't help you, but not to help you, but do you know the money at home or the old man? Laugh. Money can make him ugly at all. Even so, many people still look at the face of money. Go in the car, I will ask Zhang Pinfeng to get on the car slightly. There is also a woman with Zhang Pinfeng, who looks only in his early 20s, wearing a golden glasses, and looks very beautiful. I thought it was Zhang Pinfeng's secretary, but I never thought that this woman named Monli would change my life. Okay, Zhang Pinfeng got on the car with me, and Monli sat in the front seat. Okay, Dongzi, you are high level than me, even the driver is so pleasing to the eye. Zhang Pinfeng is a color skin. I looked at my driver several times. We are commonplace, for Xu Guang, the gambler on the side is God, and I will represent the casino to meet all their needs. As mentioned earlier, the driver is a prop. If it is not hindered, I glanced at the girl in the front seat, and took Zhang Pinfeng's thigh. This car can be free for you for 24 hours. Zhang Pinfeng seemed to wait for me to say this sentence, and immediately smiled, that let's say it. Then he said again, hey, by the way, Dongzi, I heard that you still have underworld. Zhang Pinfeng put his eyes on his eyes. After listening to it, I asked, under the stage? Do you know that you have been to bet on the stage before? The audience was a private bet between the owners of various departments and gamblers. The gambler won 10 million on the table, so the owner of the hall will pay 10 million gamblers privately. If it is reversed, it will lose 10 million to the Lord. Based on this, it can be doubled. Generally speaking, the guest can give 2 to 3 times. Hey, I didn't seem to see the death. Zhang Pinfeng laughed. The old man just died, and I couldn't get much money from the group's money. I took me 5 times with your current ability. Right? I'm a little surprised, I can really get you 5 times, but if you lose money, if you don't have it for a while, it will be the usury. Zhang Pinfeng interrupted me, before you finish, you will tell me. Tomorrow will get me 10 million chips tomorrow. Zhang Pinfeng insisted that I did not discourage it again. It's just that I don't understand where Zhang Pinfeng has come to such a big self-believer. The list of 10 million on the stage is not small, and I can add 100,000 yuan. Plus the bet on the stage, I can also add 500,000. At least this month I owe my interest. At the hotel, Zhang Pinfeng rushed to the driver and went upstairs, throwing it to me the beauty he brought. Before leaving, I squeezed my eyebrows and said, leave it for you, I have no use, seize the opportunity. I am a little surprised. There are no 10,000 and 8,000s of beauties I have seen in the casino. Monli is definitely the best in the best, black silk long legs, especially the face, seemingly proud, but with gold silk glasses, she always feels that this woman must be a bit sullen. Zhang Pinfeng will leave it to me, to be honest, I am a little tempted. Miss, your room is upstairs, I will give you it. I took his room card, and I felt very gentleman with a gentleman with a gentleman. But who knew it had a grey nose? Take it, you. Monley grabbed the room card in my hand and turned away. Listening to the accent is still a Northeast girl. It is a bit interesting. I admit that this woman does attract me, and I always feel that this woman seems to be familiar. The next day, the woman once again made me experience her charm at the gambling table. It turned out that Zhang Pinfeng dared to bet 5 times that she was her. Monley's gambling skills are extremely superb. He seems to be able to judge the dealer's card and the cards that continue to distribute. Although this judgment is not 100% hit, it has greatly increased the chance of Monley winning money. This made Monley on the gambling table extremely confident, coupled with her bad appearance and proud temperament, making her the focus of the gambling hall. The red spider allows gamblers to bet and win or losses. Few people are holding chips, waiting behind her to suppress Monley to win Donga. What should I do? Will Brother Chang be unhappy? Ask me. The trail is my Ma Zi, just after entering the industry. Brother Chang is the master of this hall. In the past few hours, Monley's chips have turned at least a few times, that is, she won at least 10 million on the table. With 5 times the bottom of the table, Johnson Gu will pay her 50 million. The person who followed her probably won 20 or 30 million, and it was almost 1 billion yuan. No, I shook my head. In this case, it is not a money. Now the major casinos are fiercely competitive, and they all care about their reputation. Brother Chang will not say anything. So always for her to win? The little knife glanced at Zhang Pinfeng with a smile at the gambling table, with envy in his eyes. No, I glanced at the little sword to warn him, there are a lot of questions. Some of the casinos are processed. As a stack of horses, the only thing we need to do is to serve the gamblers and earn them a commission. I can see that this kid is going to the table sooner or later. This is the desire. Almost every year, Macau has rich guests, Dad Mazi, and officials even listen to the Lord because they got out of the gambling table, and they owed huge sums of usury to become a ticket. Tickets are the worst of all gamblers. They will be squeezed to the last value of small casinos sold in various places until they lose their lives. Manley and Zhang Pinfeng bet for the afternoon. The watch on the stage won more than 20 million, and more people followed the trend. There were more than 20 people, and almost all of them were red. The dealer's chips have lost several times, and 100 million chips are now called from the counter. Older men, we will withdraw the last one. Yeah, Zhang Pinfeng screamed on a million species. Those who followed the trend also followed the first one. More than 20 people bet, each of them gave 500,000 reds, almost everyone filled, and it was a rare bet in the living room. However, Monley, who was as high as 80% of the winning percentage of this time. At 7 o'clock, the dealer was at 8 o'clock, and everyone called for a while. Some people listened to the last one, but they have put all their own chips, and many people can see that Zhang Pinfeng and Monley deliberately called the last one and let the big guy go with the first one. After selling casino personal feelings, after all, he won a lot of money. Dongzi changed his horse, Zhang Pinfeng raised his hand and said, I can't squeeze money. Congratulations, Hang, Pinfeng really has 2 brushes. Zhang Pinfeng smiled and patted my shoulder and said, win more than 1 million, don't make you embarrassed. You win are not my money. I hit it, haha. In fact, we earn flowing water. Every gambler takes chips, we commission. In fact, we hope that gamblers can win, because as long as you win, it will not only come next time, but also exchange more chips so that we can make more. Dongzi, this is your guest. Your guests are not authentic. Treat us as a person who is moving to the water and send all my chips. It just lost. The old director was talking. I used to have a big gambler. There is a shopping mall in Kyoto at home, and the value is 1 billion. When I first arrived, it was also full of energy, but in just 3 months, the old dong lost 1.6 billion and played from the VIP room to the scattered platform. We are not a small gambling person here. There are often billions of net worth, but you lose so much money so quickly, even in our regular casinos, it is not common. At this moment, the old dong was flushed and his eyes were prominent, and he was already controlled by desire. Today, he was unkempt, his eyes were slightly convex, sweaty, and he grabbed my hand, Dongzi, you must sign me more than 20 million chips. The chips and gamblers we took out to redeem different, the chips we signed were called Nima, and some of them told you to and Rima. You don't need to pay first, you can bet on the settlement. I opened my mouth and asked me to borrow 20 million. This kind of price list, the casino will not interfere with us, but all bad debts need to be collected by ourselves. If you can't get it too much, you need to pay it yourself. If the value of the old dong 3 months ago, don't say 20 million, even if it was 2 billion, I dared to give him money. But now the old dong has lost his net worth. Not to mention, I still owe me 60 million miles. Brother Dong has been playing here for half a month? I beckoned at the little knife, and Xiao Dao came over. I took a 100,000 chips from Zhang Pinfeng's chips and stuffed it into the hands of the old dong. Dong brother has not been angry recently. I invite you to find a hotel for 2 shots for 2,000 brothers. To be honest, the truth. There are a lot of 100,000 yuan, which is because I took Zhang Pinfeng's chips. But the old dong became angry on the spot, smashed the 100,000 yuan chips on my face, and cursed, "I fuck your mother's 100,000 yuan, do you send it for meals? Did you forget that, Wang Dong? I want to be a father, and Ma Zi, I chose you to see you." Furious attracted everyone's attention. As the father of this hall, almost everyone who lost here knew me. Zhang Pinfeng looked a little fiercely, and I smiled twice. What can I do if I lose my eyes? This is just a small scene for me.